Hey y'all, welcome back. We're back. Education Playmakers, Nisha and Marcus. How y'all doing today?
What's going on, y'all? We are back for our full first episode. I'm excited about this one. We've titled this one "Setting the Course."
Yes.
This episode is gonna be about goal setting, both for kids and adults. And I just hope y'all ready for my truth about goal setting for me as an adult and doing it in the classroom. But as we always start off, we start off with our section of how did we get here?
Mm-hmm.
How do we get here? What is our how do we get here this week?
Look, I know y'all seen the videos about the guy who was in the courtroom and jumped over the bench and attacked the judge. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. That was crazy. It was really crazy. And I believe he was in front of the judge in the first place because there were domestic violence charges that had been brought against him. And I think he just really proved her point because she was like, I appreciate that, but I think he needs, there should be more consequences because obviously what the system has been doing and giving to him has not worked. And I think he did a great job proving her point for her. And things happen so very quickly. And we know how quickly things happen in our buildings, on our campuses. But it's about mental health. I think that's how we got here.
Okay.
I really do. Clearly,
yeah,
there's something off there.
Yeah. Let's set it up a little bit. So they were in court that day, and while they were in court, the man, because I want to watch a little bit before the man, the judge asked him if he wanted to say anything on his behalf, and he started to talk. He was telling the judge like, I think that I shouldn't go to jail. He had been on probation before, and that I successfully completed probation, so I think that I shouldn't go to jail. And so the judge said something to the effect of, but not limited to, I think this time we need to do something a little different. And then you hear some commotion because the judge's head is down, and she looks up, and you see Superman.
Yeah,
that man was flying towards her, and he landed on top of her and started hitting her on the bench, and then got into it with the court officers as well. Now, how do we get here? I think it is mental health because I think he did go to mental health court before, if I'm not mistaken. But I got a question because as we not let's say particular, but we're gonna find a reason to make excuses for certain things, and not saying that he was right. But a few people that I've seen online have been saying, or comments I've been seeing online have been saying, but the judge made a slick comment. I wonder if he already was in court for DV. The judge making a slick comment. How does that turn you into a superhero?
Right. That should have no bearing on your behavior. I mean, okay. It may have been slick the way that she said it, the way that she presented it, but what I've heard, the videos that I've seen, she said, I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
However, I feel she's the professional. Yeah. She's the judge. She's issuing the consequence, the sentence, the punishment, whatever. And that has to be respected. I don't think it was slick. Yeah. I mean, at some point, if I'm a judge, I'm tired of seeing you standing in front of me. I'm tired of reading these cases. You're beating people. You're beating women. You're doing whatever it is you're doing. It's domestic violence. Yeah. What we've been doing is not working. Yeah. Because you're here once again. Whether she made a slick comment or not, at the end of the day, somebody flying over the bench to attack that lady or any person sitting behind that bench or outside, it's unwarranted. Yeah, it is unwarranted because we slick comments all day long. Our kids supposed to attack us. Yeah, they make slick comments. We can't attack them. Yeah, there's no excuse. And mental health issues are really real. I mean, I think that's how he got here. Somebody somewhere along the line failed him.
Yeah.
Maybe he failed himself because he wasn't accepting the help. Just like we saw in the video, he's not trying to hear that. He doesn't want to. He thinks he's rehabilitated. I did this. I completed that. I have a stable place to live. I have a job. I'm not on drugs.
Yeah.
Okay, but you're here.
Yeah. I told you I'm not trying to get us canceled. But I ain't gonna tell you. So I watch a lot of law and crime. Even like the Law and Crime Network. Like, I follow a lot of trials. Like, I'm following Young Thug trial right now. We'll talk about that later. And it popped up on my YouTube. Okay. And I looked at it. And I told you I'm not trying to, but I immediately bust out laughing because I was confused on how that man. He was like, literally Superman.
And it happens so quickly. And we see that stuff all the time. Things escalate very quickly. But yeah, your first instinct may be to be like, what the?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Is this real? What did I just watch? Is this a skit? But that's somebody unstable in my opinion.
I'm even trying to figure out. How did he get that kind of air? Like, how did he get up in the air like that and leap forward like that? Because he didn't have that much of a running start.
No, and dude, but you just standing there thinking, if this heifer say, if she steps sideways, if she say the wrong thing, I'm running up. Yeah. Like who thinks like that?
I mean, his head, he was going home no matter what.
In his head.
He found out the hard way.
He ain't going nowhere for a long time. No. They might put him up on.
Yeah, he's sitting there as we speak right now.
Yeah, isn't he supposed to show up in court again on Monday? And the judge is relentless. I mean, like, I was okay. She said that he has to appear before her. She's not taking herself off the case. Should she? I mean, should she, or do you feel like she's doing the right thing?
So first she went back to work the next day. Mm-hmm. So that's good stuff because some people would definitely take off work. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people would definitely take off work. Mm-hmm. Should she have taken herself off the case? I say yes if she's going to change her initial sentence. Mm-hmm. I say no, she's going to keep whatever sentence she had before because what happened to her doesn't have a bearing on that previous case. Right. Because now, what happened to her is charged in a whole different case.
It's completely different.
So as long as she's not going to say, okay, I was going to give him 2 years in jail, but now I'm going to give him 6. Mm-hmm. If you think like that, you're not thinking about the case that was previously in front of you, so you do need to remove yourself from the case. Mm-hmm. But if she sticks to her same sentencing and goes forward the sentencing hearing that she was, I think that she's good to go. What you think?
I completely agree with that. I do. Because I think that she'd probably be fair. I don't think she's going to change it. And like you said, there's a whole other charge that's going to come along with, his actions. So there's a consequence for that. And I feel like, as a teacher, as a behavior specialist, as an administrator, kids, that's kind of like us being like, okay, I called this kid in my office and this is what he did. He came in here and started throwing stuff, tearing up stuff, trying to attack me. We don't back down from that. You know what I'm saying? Because if we do, what is that teaching that student? You know what I'm saying? So just in that perspective, I feel like she's doing the right thing. I mean, like, I ain't no punk. I'm not going to back down just because you decide you want to be Billy Badass today. Yeah. Because you're not going to jump over the bench again. Yeah. You're not going to do that again. But if I can be fair and unbiased and separate those incidents, I think that it's okay.
Yeah, I'm with you. And as we transition, I agree with you. If I took off work for every time that I was cussed out, that I was told, my daddy gonna come knock you out, for every time that I heard I'm gonna tell my mama.
Or every time a parent even cusses you out on the phone or in person.
Cussing out over the phone or in person. I will probably be at home at least 200 days out of the 365.
But we only work like 186.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We would never go to work. We would never go to work. But each day is a new day.
Yeah.
And we start over. And you know, when we talk about goal setting, we do it's a day at a time. It's a chunk at a time, but we have to have an end goal.
Yeah.
We have to have a starting point, and we have to work in between those 2 points.
Yeah.
So, like Marcus said, today's topic is about goal setting and the importance of goal setting. And we talked about this and decided that our first topic would be goal setting because we're starting this at the top of the year, you know, and we just celebrated New Year's. Normally, you know, we as humans, we as a society, you know, I guess we've conditioned ourselves to, new year, new me. I'm this, I'm that, I'm gonna get back in the gym.
I'm gonna leave people in 2023.
But they still
gonna talk to them.
Yes.
But I'm gonna digress.
Yes. But you know, I'm a block so and so, and you do it for a couple of weeks and they back. But just kind of even though the school year starts in August, maybe where you are is in September. We're not that fortunate, but anyway, it's a new year. It's 2024, and I think with students, you know, it's a good idea to start them when school starts. What's your plan for the year? Because we're thinking school year to school year. You know what I'm saying? We're thinking August, September through May, June, whatever it is. So what are your goals? Because we're not with you in the summer. And, you know, hopefully you can extend it. But it's important to talk about how your year is going to go when the year starts. But the beginning of the year, like I said, it's a fresh start. Yeah. So it's a new semester, and we can start now with the students if we haven't already.
Yeah, and that's why, like you said, that's why we titled it Setting the Course. Because we want them to set the course for the rest of this semester. And honestly, like, even throughout the summer, like, what are you going to do over the summer, like, to achieve some of your personal goals? Because we don't, like, I always tell people, we don't just teach math, science, social studies, and reading. I got to get you to understand the real world because I want you to be productive in society. So I agree with you. So yeah, just looking at like goal setting and setting goals for both adults and kids. I was just telling you that this a touchy subject for me because I set goals in air quotes because I want to do things, but I don't write them down. I don't come back to them. So do I really just set a goal or do I just have a wish? You know what I'm saying? So I don't.
That's a very interesting way to look at that. Is it a wish?
Yeah.
Maybe.
But then as a teacher in the classroom, like, you need to set this goal because we know we are in January, February time frame. We know state standardized tests are coming up no matter what state you stay in. And it's so high stakes. And I'm not gonna go on my rant about state testing. But it's so high stakes and we want them to set a goal to pass that test. But how can I push you to create this goal, write it down, come back to it, keep looking at it when
you just wishing?
Yeah, I'm just wishing on my end. I'm telling you, you need to set this goal. This is how you gonna get there. But Marcus, you ain't doing it. So like, how can I do that? But yeah, sometimes I look at it like that.
When I was in the classroom, I've done vision boards for a long time, and I've gradually moved to doing a vision journal because I would run out of room on my little poster board. Yeah. And also with that, I'm planning for more than a year. Okay. So, because let's face it, some goals it's going to take you more than 3 months. It's going to take more than 6 months. It's going to take more than 12. Yeah. You know, you extend it and you just kind of build up on it or whatever. But when we would come back after Christmas break, it was, I would take magazines and pictures or whatever so that my students could create their own vision boards, you know, and it could just even be on a piece of construction paper. It didn't have to be a big poster board if they didn't want it, because some kids are like, I don't know what to do. I don't really have any goals. You don't do something, you know. But I would have them just try to train them to think about, what are your goals? What is it that you want to achieve, and how are you going to get there? And if it's written down or if it's plastered on a poster board or a piece of paper. It's visual. You see it, and you're thinking about it, and you're working towards that. Because I got goals in my head.
Yep.
I think about that stuff all day long, but
I'm
just wishing. I'm hoping and wishing
exactly.
I can get it.
I'm on a wing and a prayer, as my mom would have said. He's on a wing and a prayer. Exactly. Because honestly, it's like I have so many goals, and they're like concrete things that I can achieve. Mm-hmm. But what steps are you taking towards getting there? Mm-hmm. And so I do have these conversations now with my students. Even though I'm not in the classroom, I call my students all the time. So with the students all the time, like, what are you doing to achieve that? What you want to do? I want to be a football player. Okay. So I want you to think through what steps you need to take to get there. But I also want you to think through, if that doesn't work out in my favor, what am I going to do next? Mm-hmm. Because that's the way we have to take reality. And that's why we have to condition our kids, especially our students of color. Mm-hmm. Because they, a lot of times, will say, I want to play sports, But then we have to look at the reality of it. How many people really make it? Yeah. Mm-hmm. How long do those careers really last? Mm-hmm. And then what do I do after that? Do I have a goal after that? Mm-hmm. Because playing sports hard on your body.
It is.
Like, so what do you do after that? Mm-hmm. And then even with adults, like talking to teachers, parents, other administrators, like, what are your goals? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's so crazy because you walk up to an adult, they give you the same answer the kids give you. They, as I'm shrugging my shoulders, they shrug their shoulders. I don't know. So, like, what do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish at the end of these 6 months with the kids? What do you want to accomplish at the end of these 6 months for yourself? Yep. What do you want to accomplish at the end of these 6 months professionally? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And if we can't articulate those things as adults, how are we pushing kids to articulate those things? I think that sometimes we want so much from them, but we're not even doing it ourselves.
I agree. I set, personal goals, career goals, and just things that I want to do in general, like things that I want to experience, whether it's travel or whatever. Yeah. But I make sure that I include all those categories. I may have, spiritual, mental. I mean, there's all kinds of things. It doesn't matter the category, but you said that we could talk to. I want to address what you said about not being in the classroom. We're not in the classroom, but every student in those built the campuses that we are assigned. Yeah. There are students. Yeah. I mean, it don't matter whether you're in classroom or not. From the front office to the teachers and all the staff, all of those students belong to us because we love them the same. Yeah. And we take care of them the same. But anyway, we share them all. Yeah. We share them. When we talk to students about their goals, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do when you grow up? And they say, I want to, be a professional athlete. I want to be a rapper, whatever. The whole professional athlete thing, have you noticed that they just completely skip over college? Mm-hmm. They don't in their minds, it's not a thing. It's like, I'm going to walk off this high school football field onto an NFL football field. They don't even, there's nothing in between. So where I am now to where I want to go, it's empty. Yeah. They don't think about the steps, and then the backup plan also. Like, it's very important that we put that in perspective for our kids. Yeah. I mean, all, but especially, our, quarterback is this black student or brown student who, GPA may not be where it needs to be, but he's a beast on the field. Like, we have to have these real conversations with them so that we don't fail them and get them, okay, this I hear that this is what you want to do. This is your plan. Yeah. How can we get you there? Yeah. Okay, so let's think about, a career changing or career ending injury, God forbid. Yeah. Or what if you don't make it? Then what? It's important to have those conversations because goals do change. Yeah. They have to.
I think that's why I've gotten to a point now. I'm pretty ambitious. So I'm very ambitious, And then when I was in the classroom still teaching math, my goal at the beginning of each year was to outscore every teacher in the district in whatever grade level math I taught. Mm-hmm. I wanted my kids to blow every teacher out the water. Now, did that always happen? No. But it happens sometimes, yeah. And I used to always say, it's not because I'm such a great math teacher. It is because the kids like me and they want to do good for me. Right? So that's how I got to my goal, building those relationships. But so I think that there's a framework that has to happen with goal setting. Mm-hmm. First, what is my goal? Mm-hmm. And then if this is my goal, to make it to sports, because there's a lot of our kids' goal. If my goal as a kid is to make it to the NFL, what does that look like? Mm-hmm. If I'm in 6th grade, if I'm in 7th grade, if I'm in 8th grade, if I'm a junior, what does that look like for me? Especially if I'm a junior, right? What are the steps that I'm taking to make it there? Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, when I go back and look at that goal, is that even realistic? Is it measurable? Is something I can measure? Like, okay, yes, this is something I can look at. Okay, yep, bam, I check, I did that. Check, I did this. Mm-hmm. What I keep telling you I'm trying not to get us canceled, right? But so
not the first episode.
Yeah, so then my thoughts are, you got to go play college ball. Cool. Mm-hmm. What are you going to major in? Because you have to have a major also with those sports. Now, don't go major in something. They going to be mad at me for this. Don't go major in something that you can't fall back on. Communications. Or somebody that got a communication degree, they pissed right now. But what are you going to do with that communication degree?
Yeah, what does that look like?
What does that look like? Mm-hmm. What can you do with this communication degree? Yeah. Psychology. Mm-hmm. What can you do with a bachelor's in psychology? Mm-hmm. I just want to know. Now, somebody out there, they're going to get in the chat, in the comments, and they're going to... You can go be a teacher. They're going to go in over you. You can go be an educator. Yeah, you can go be an educator.
You can come work with us.
But you're not about to go be a psychologist with a bachelor's degree.
Not with a bachelor's. No, you're not. No.
And most people with a communication degree, they're not news anchors. Mm-hmm. Like, you get what I'm saying? So it's like, what are you going to do with those degrees? Mm-hmm. Go back to school again and get a master's?
Yeah,
and something else. Mm-hmm. So...
Because as educators, we went back and got master's degrees. Like,
because you need
you need it. If you're going to do this job.
Yeah. Now, in some worlds, in business world, I can get a bachelor's degree and be okay and get all the way to CEO and never get another degree.
Yes, sir.
Because I learned through on the job. Mm-hmm. So if you set those types of goals there, or if you even set a goal where I want to play professional football, my backup plan is to go own my own business in HVAC, mm-hmm. to own my own business in plumbing, mm-hmm. welding. Mm-hmm. That's great. But you have to plan these things out and not just say, you know what, I'm going to get a communication degree, but that's just because those classes easy. I'm sorry, I'm going to leave communication degrees alone. I'm going to leave it alone.
Wait a minute.
Keep going. I'm sorry, you go ahead.
Yeah, you're going to go get this communications degree, but in high school, you don't want to take the speech class. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want to do no public speaking.
It's not called, that one. The one where you have to do these speeches and all that kind of stuff. But it's a semester class and you didn't even want to do that. Yeah, you're talking about getting a degree. I understand.
But you know what, again, I'm telling you, somebody somewhere, and I don't know who these people are, have told people that if you guys going to get a communication degree, it's going to be easy. But you got to be able to write and read. You got to be able to write. Don't people be writing communications? They do. Mm-hmm. They do a lot of writing, but I'm still trying to figure out what you're going to do once you get out of school. I don't know how we got here.
I don't know how we got here either, but we're not going to get canceled. That's for sure. We ain't getting there. But no, for real.
Yeah, I digress, yeah.
But really though, there's it's like they have tunnel vision.
Yeah.
I see this is what I want because somebody told me that I was just that good.
Yeah.
Somebody told me that I was that good, and that's why it's very important that we have these real conversations with these real kids.
Yeah, and we can be honest; they can be that good.
Absolutely.
There's a kid right now. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite kids, mm-hmm. a beast. Mm-hmm. But we still gotta look at how many kids are beasts across the country.
Yes,
you're a beast compared to what? Compared to the schools that you're currently playing, or you're a beast in the nation. Mm-hmm. He's a beast. Yeah. Excellent football player. Puts in the work. Yeah. Smart. But I still want to ask you, what are your goals and how you gonna get there? Because somewhere in those goals between high school football and NFL, it gotta be some college work. It gotta be some high school work.
Be high school work.
You gotta get some stuff done. Because me as a teacher, I don't care if no coach came in my classroom talking about this child is failing. They got a 67, and they really need to pass your class to play. You might want to get away from my door and do some goal setting with that child, because if you come to me the day of grades or due, that child they didn't think through their goals. If their end goal was to play football, they should have knew their first goal was to pass these core classes.
Absolutely.
And they like, oh, it's only 3 points. I ain't giving away nothing. Because if I give it away, you know what their goal setting do? They're gonna believe that somewhere else in the goals they're gonna give it to you. And it's not gave to you. You gotta set those goals and you gotta earn it. You gotta check it out each time you go. So you grown person, because you should be teaching the kids this. You might want to get away from my classroom though. But you know that's just me too.
No, but you're absolutely right. And being at the high school level, the credits, like freshman year, you have to earn a certain amount of credits to become a sophomore, to be classified as a sophomore.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. I mean, or if you're gonna be a 5th-year senior, still trying to earn these credits. Yeah. And I've seen too many instances where athletes have been let down.
Yeah.
Because you good at XYZ high school, you're a beast, like you said. But how many of y'all are going to a D1 school right off the bat? They may be your goal, but you have to come back. It's okay. How many out of all of these kids, all of these football players in the nation, all these basketball, volleyball players in the nation, how many actually wind up at D1 school? With a scholarship, because that's a goal too. Getting it paid for, but
somebody somewhere not teaching in that goal.
I was gonna say
I can go to a 2-year school and transfer to that D1 school.
Absolutely. But I think it's important for those coaches. Students spend more time with coaches. Student athletes spend more time with coaches than they do with teachers. That's practice and games and all of that. So it is incumbent upon them to teach those. They need to sit down and go. Yeah. They need to have real conversations. Look, bro, you give everything on the field. You leave it all out there. We respect it. We appreciate it. However, let's talk about your plan. Let's talk about your plan. Let's talk about how many credits you have. Let's talk about your GPA. Let's talk about where you want to go to school. Let's talk about everything. Let's talk about how your mom and them gonna help you pay for it, or whatever. If the scholarship falls short, let's talk about it all. It's not just about running the ball, kicking the ball, throwing the ball, whatever. It's not just about that. And goal setting starts in school.
Yeah.
It does, and it carries into our adulthood.
Yeah, I can tell you something that my first year teaching, goal setting wasn't something big in the school I was at. Like, schools I worked at previously, now, like, the kids have to set a goal. There's an actual document. We're tracking these goals. My first year, goal setting wasn't like something that was really pushed on teachers to have their kids to do. So then when I got to other schools and the students are goal setting, I'm like, this is really good. So I think that sometimes there's a disconnect, and we do a disservice as educators towards the real world. Kindergarten through 8th grade in a certain state, no matter what happens, just about they're going to the next grade.
Yeah, push.
They don't happen in every state, but in certain states, no matter when, you going to the next grade. Okay. So the disservice there, we got them same goals. But they never hit any of those marks.
They never hit those marks yet. They
progress. Keep going. And so it tells me that, you're not going to reach all the marks on the goal. But if I don't meet none of them, and I make it, it's an oxymoron. Something's not going right there, right?
Sending the wrong message. Yeah.
And then I get to high school.
Game changes.
it's a beast. Once again, I ain't hit none of the check marks along the way my 9th grade year.
Right.
And I got 1 credit.
I can't play.
And now it's an issue. But I failed everything at 8th grade. And I'm here. I failed everything at 7th grade. And I'm here. So I think that there's a disservice that's done there, but I think that's the way to think through. Now, on the backhand of that, right, I think that goal setting is good. Kids cannot hit certain marks, and educators want to, like, you know what, I think that student needs to spend an extra year with me. Now, research don't say that retention is the best thing to do, right? Yeah, but they say I think that the student needs to spend another year with me. Principal's like, but I didn't know how retention rate in my school. It was bad on me as possible type stuff. So it's those types of things that come into play. But back to goal setting, I just think that if we can get students to consistently goal set, if we as adults consistently goal set, because I've gotten so much better at goal setting, but it's because I've been having the kids do it. Honestly, having the kids do it. Now I'm honestly setting goals to myself. Like, you know what? In 6 months from now, I need to have this fellowship. I need to be doing this. And if I'm not there, what did I do wrong? What can I do to get there now? But I'm gonna cut that time. Now I need to be there in 3 months. Right. Because now I'm in a 9-month time frame, and I wasn't even supposed to be in 9 months. I'm supposed to be there only 6. And I do have kids that think like that. Now, we're talking about kids that don't go set. Now I got kids that will go set. They will tell you their goals. They can see backwards and forwards. They're gonna tell you their plan and how they gonna get there. Now look. And then they'll think through it, and they'll come to you and they'll be like, what you think about this? I think that's pretty good. Or be like, you know what, let's tweak this. Let's think about it. Let's do a little research. Because I don't know. I'm tell you, I don't know. I never did that job before. So I don't know. Let's do some research. Or let's go to this career counselor. They know more than me. You gonna sit with me? Yeah, I'll sit with you. Because those are the people that want it. And if you want it, we got you. And the kids that don't understand that they need to get there, we still gonna push you to get there.
So there are students who are on that end, and they go and they go and they go and they push. But how do we support them, or how do we try to get them to understand that, you know, while I appreciate you, you know, planning and trying to adhere to your goals and your plan and this track or whatever, but I need you to allow yourself to be a kid. Yeah. I need you to allow yourself room for making mistakes. Yep. I need you to learn how to allow yourself a little bit of grace. Yeah. Because we all know people who my goal, this, just so it's this, and this is next, and this is next, and this is next. And then their whole life is gone. Their whole life has passed them by, and they've done nothing but knock out those goals, or accomplish those goals. And y'all know I'm not saying that we're not going to goal set. That's not what I'm saying. It's important, you know, you write your vision down, you manifest, you execute it. Absolutely. But life be lifing. Yep. And we don't live in a perfect world. We're not perfect people. Things happen. You know, you may have a goal to go complete this program or do this or do that. Things that require money. What happens if you don't have the money that you need? You know, different things like that. We could get so hyper focused on what I want to do, what I need to do, what I feel I need to do, or what we think may make others happy, or what others, you know, trying to do what others expect of us, that we forget how to live. Yeah. You know. I'm with you on that. And I think that I've definitely came across some students like that are... before I even say that, kids go through so much nowadays. Oh my God, they do. That it's like, whoa, I don't even think I even understood those things when I was a child. Yeah. So with the one of those things, there are some kids that are really like, you know what, I don't want to be in this same predicament after this. So they have set those goals and they're pushing, they're hard charging. And like I said, they don't give themselves grace. If they fail something, they beat themselves up. They're beating themselves up. They're like, why didn't I make this? Why didn't I get this? I supposed to have all A's, but I got an 88 here.
And how do you get them to understand that? I think he's just really having those real conversations. I am probably one of the rawest people that you will ever meet that also talks to kids very raw. Because I need you to understand that I'm a human. I'll never forget the first time I saw one of the kids who I taught out, and it was like, "What? You go to the mall?" Like, yeah, I go to the mall. But yeah, so you got to get to understand that you're human, that you make mistakes. I fell short. I made my mistakes. I sometimes wonder how did I get here. Like I'm shocked that I made it. So it's just like I have to have those conversations so they can understand, because they look at us as educators as we're such polished people. You come to work and you're dressed up and you look so nice. You couldn't have made a mistake. That's how you got here. So I want to be like you. I want to be like you. So that's why I'm gonna keep doing it. Like, no, you gotta understand. Give yourself grace. Give yourself mercy. And then we're gonna do the same as educators, and we're gonna help you build those goals. And if you deviate a little bit, I'm gonna get you right back there. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, but then you got those kids that'll make those crazy goals. So they'll set those goals where they want to be a rapper and they also want to sell narcotics. Yeah. And I'm like, did you just write this on a piece of paper? Well, let's try and spend this. And I'm thinking, like, how can I spend your little narcotics goal? Like, how do I change this to something else? You want to be an entrepreneur, right? Yeah, you want to. Yeah. If you don't erase this crap on this paper right now before I rip it up, throw it at you, because. Do you want me to report you? No, I'm just playing. Yeah. No, I'm about to throw this. I'm a ball up and I'm gonna throw it at you. Right. Like, stop. Yes. Yeah. Stop. So there's that. Yeah.
But yeah, some of them do come in with some interesting things, but and we have it's that's that goes back to building relationships and knowing how knowing which ways of communicating are effective with which students talk about. I keep it what the kids say, keep it 100.
I'm not trying to figure out what they say.
I'm gonna keep it real all the time, and many times I do kind of have to rein myself back in, have to kind of check myself. Wait a minute, you don't say that, but again, we know who we can say what to and how we can deliver things to students. So I'm very aware of that, but there's some real life things that we just have to share with our students. They ain't, they don't have to be all in our business. They shouldn't be all in our business. We ain't got to get down to the nitty gritty, but just letting them know, just sharing little things, to let them know that we're human, that we've messed up, that like I should have, I should be retiring this year or getting close, but I started like, shut up. I started looking at me like,
I'm over here thinking like, Lord knows I got about so many years. I need to start calculating.
Listen, because with having kids and it took me longer than 4 years to finish college. I didn't go straight through because I have little people to take care of, and kids, they look at us and they're like, oh, really? Yes, I'm human just like you are. And it's important that they see that. And like my goals had to be put on hold. I just said in the intro how I went through the principal certification program. I finished that thing in 2015. Didn't take the test. Now it's completely different and it's a bunch of crap. But anyway, I'm there. I'm right. I'm there at the finish line. But you have to put your goals on hold sometimes because you have to take care of other people. You have children. You may lose a parent. You may have to take care of a parent. Different things like that. You may have to help your siblings. Y'all trying to rearrange your lives because you got to look after your parents because they're getting older. Been there, done that, done it all. Both my parents are here, fortunately, but still, we have to be realistic when we look at our goals, and when we ask our students to set goals and set realistic goals, we can't. You said some things you don't put down on that paper. Yeah. But just try to reframe their thinking and also allow for bumps in the road.
Yeah, I'm with you. And as we close, I think I'm thinking the same thing. Like you said, I didn't go straight to college out of school. I spent my first 4 years out of school in the Army. And then I spent my active duty army. Then I spent my, and I was like, I'm gonna go to school in the army. Let me tell you, trying to train and travel and keep up with the army life and go to school. Yeah, I got a couple classes done. And then,
well, that was a couple.
Yeah, it was a couple. I did try.
You were working towards your goal.
Yeah, because they push it, and so then decided to get out, and then I did 4 years in the reserves, and it was just like I'm setting these goals, and I had to set goals, and I started education when I was preparing to get out of the army. Some of my friends was going to medical school, so it was like I looked at it like I'm behind. You know, I started comparing myself to other people, but no, I can't do that. I set these goals. I set these goals for myself, so I set goals for myself. And I think that as we close, like what I've gotten out of this conversation, honestly, is goal setting is vital to honestly being successful. Now, are these goals that we write down going to be the exact thing that's going to happen? Nope. Is it going to be close to it sometimes? Nope. Sometimes it's going to take you on a completely different track. Yeah. But if you're thinking through these things, that's how you know. Yeah. This is how you can tell those terms. This is how you can navigate these things and make those changes. So I think that's like the biggest thing.
Absolutely. I agree. I mean, like you said, it's vital. You know, you think about it, write it down, write down your vision, make it plain, and keep going back. Yeah. To you go back and read it, you go back and look at it just to remind yourself where you're supposed to be, because we're gonna get off track. Yeah. And it's gonna be roller coaster, but we just gotta keep at it. Well, I agree. That's it. So y'all need to be working on y'all's vision boards, vision journals. Write it down on a piece of paper. However, whatever, it don't matter. Talk to us. What are your thoughts about goal setting? How do you when do you set your goals? Do you set goals if you're an educator? Do you set them at the beginning of the year? Do you write everything down at the end of the summer? Do you wait till the new year rolls around? Share with us what y'all are doing and how what's been helpful to you as far as reaching your goals. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah. Make sure y'all like, tag, share with your friends. Let them know the education playmakers out here in the streets. Yeah, you're going to start to see us go live soon. You're going to see a few of our friends jump on. Yeah. I had these conversations with us and jump in. This was a little light work for y'all. We talked about goal setting. It was a little bit more, realistic.